Hey, how are you doing, everyone? So today we're gonna be doing a little tutorial on how to make your cube move a little bit smoother, I guess. And that's otherwise known as lubing your cube. So I'll be using this Diane that you've seen in the other videos. It's a Diane Guhong. Yeah, it's a Guhong. I have the box here. And yeah, so I'll be taking this apart and show you how to do that kind of stuff. I'll leave a link in the description for where I got my cube. Okay, so a lot of times your cube, when you order it online or whatever, it might come cubed. It might come lubed, pre-lubed, which means like you can kind of already feel it. Like when you move your cube, it's like a little more slippery, I guess. And you know it has nothing to do with it being like the screws. When it's lubed, it's a little more smooth. And so eventually, even if it does come pre-lubed, like it'll dry out anyway. So one of the things that I learned from Gabriel actually was how to lube one of these things. Take off all the caps, put them on the side, somewhere safe. Just keep it somewhere where you can organize it well. And then you probably want some tissue. You're gonna want like something like a syringe. I actually use this thing called Traxxas 50 or Traxxas 30. I don't remember which one I use. One of them is like a little rougher, so I guess it'd be a little smoother. I'll leave a link in the description down below. But actually, Gabriel gave me this. Pretty lucky to have one of these. There's like some official lube for cubes or whatever, but it's a little overpriced, and they give you the syringe as well. But if it's your first time, like you might want to look into that. But if you get a hang of it, you can find one of these syringes. Like I find these a little more useful, especially because the tip is so small. It fits really well in the cube. And the last thing you're gonna need is a screwdriver, just for taking the whole thing apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking things apart. Okay, so now I have all the pieces off, and now I just have the core. The first thing you'll notice is that it's kind of greasy, and that's if it was pre-lubed. If it's not, then you know it wasn't pre-lubed. This is pretty nasty. You get stuff like that stuck in the cracks. Might need to focus on this a little. Yeah, like that. You see, like there's a bunch of dust, and yeah. So you kind of want to clean all those out first. That's probably the first thing you want to do, and the next thing you want to do is clean the core. Unscrew all the way. But the one thing to note is that there is a washer in there. Make sure you don't lose any of these pieces. They're pretty important. But yeah, I'll go ahead and clean the rest of these and see you guys around. Okay, so what's absolutely hilarious is that just after telling you guys to not lose any of these pieces, I think I just lost one of these small washers. I think I lost mine. Or I might have lost it a while ago and just forgotten that I lost it. But I swear I saw 6, but there's only 5 here. But anyway, I'm just about to finish cleaning up these washers. They're usually at the very back of these, so like you have one of these screws, and then you have the spring on it, and at the very bottom there's the washer. Yeah, so I just wipe everything off with the tissue. And so first thing you do with this syringe, a little bit of lube out. Just like a tiny bit. It's not zooming, so just like a tiny, yeah, like that much. Yeah, just about that much. And you want to go all the way at the very bottom, apply it at the bottom. Just like that, in a circular motion. And then, so is this one. And then what you do is you take the screw, you take that tiny bit again, put it right at the bottom in a circle. And so you take that screw, drop it right in. What's really nice about this, like you can obviously just drop it in, but you kind of have to fiddle around. But the nice thing about this thing is you can just kind of hook it onto your syringe. This syringe is really nice. And you just kind of insert it. So you take the syringe again, another small bit, and you just kind of put it on top of that washer. Alternatively, you could put it on here, but it's a little easier if you do it in the actual piece first. And so you just insert it, and that's it for the core. So the next part you're going to want to take care of is getting these back on. So what you want to do is you just put the screwdriver here, press it onto the screw, and just kind of rotate this until it's tight. And so usually the rule I go by is you want about, come on, focus, like a penny's worth, if that makes sense. Focus, like a penny's worth, yeah, like that much. Like you want to pull it out and have about like a penny's worth or a little more maybe. I know in Canada we don't really use pennies anymore, but most of you probably remember what a penny was like. So it's something like that. And then you just go around all 4 sides. Now that all 6 sides are on, now we get back to more lubing. So you want to take about the same amount in your syringe. And what I do is I kind of hold it like a claw grip like this, and I want to push the opposite ends as far apart as possible. So the penny's worth, what you want to do is you want to slip this syringe right in that little gap there, put the little dab of lube on it, and then put one on the other end. And here, I'll just show you. So you put a little bit here, then go to the other side, put a little bit there, just rotate it. Just keep rotating and slowly release tension so that the lube winds up along the entire screw. And so immediately you can feel like a significant difference. And then you just go around all the other sides. But the thing I like to do is just grab those caps, put them on here, and then get to the next one, especially the last 2. That's when I usually get confused. Next part is just to put the cube back to. We just throw all the pieces together for the first 2 layers, or almost the first 2 layers. So you want to just leave 1 slot, and then what you do, you take one of these edge pieces. So if you're gonna take care of the sliding on like the edges, you kind of want to put lube like 1 line across this entire spot here, across this entire spot, like the spine, because that's where it's going to be moving left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then you go on the back, do the exact same thing, just 1 line, and you just insert it. Ooh, got a lot on my hand. Okay, so the next part, just put in all the rest of these pieces. So what you want to do is kind of have it like diagonal like this, and I'll zoom in a little. Right here and right here, that's where you want the lube, because that's the inner rotation. Like with the one we put it here, that's the outside, but that's like the very inside, where you can see like the contact point right at that spot there. So you can go ahead, get some lube, just put it right on there. It's another bit, just put it on the other side. And then you just push it in and work in the lube. After you've worked it in, you probably want to take off the caps again and tighten the cube depending on how loose you like it. Usually I turn about maybe 1 more full turn after I finish working in the lube. Well, already you can see this is it's like magic, you know? But yeah, that's about it. That's how you relube your cube. Oh man, that's so good. I'm going to do an average of 5 after this. But yeah, hope you found that video interesting, or you enjoyed it, or you learned something. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!